Hi, I'm Chen Chen, and you're watching Poets House Presents. I'll be reading today from my first full-length book that was published in 2017, and my latest chapbook, published just last fall. Then I'll conclude with a poem from my very first chapbook that was published way back in 2015. Since this reading is for Poets House, the common theme across these poems is becoming a poet. And in my case, becoming a poet as someone from a Chinese immigrant family and as a queer person. This first poem I'm reading is from my book, When I Grow Up, I Want to Be a List of Further Possibilities, which was published by BOA Editions a couple years ago. Last summer, Blood Axe Books published the UK edition, which looks like this. This poem is called In the City. It was featured in the Poetry Walk Across the Brooklyn Bridge, an amazing program from Poets House, which I highly recommend you checking out on their site at poetshouse.org. This poem is dedicated to my friend and brilliant poet Monica Sok, and is based on visiting her in New York City when she was at NYU, and at the time I was at Syracuse University. In the City, for Monica Sok. These bridges are a feat of engineering. These pork and chive dumplings we bought together before hopping on a train and crossing bridges are a feat of engineering. Talking to you, crossing bridges and trains, eating pork and chive dumplings in your bright boxcar of a kitchen in Brooklyn is an engineer's dream feat of astonishment. Tonight I cannot believe the skyline because the skyline believes in me, forgives me my drooling astonishment over it, and over the fact that this happens this night, every night, its belief glittering mad and megawatt like the dreams of parents. By the way, is this soy sauce reduced sodium? Do you know? Do we care? High unabashed sodium intake. Unabashed exclamation points. New York is an exclamation I take, making my escape, away from the quiet, snowy commas of upstate and the mess of questions marking my Bostonian past. In New York we read Darwish. We write broken sonnets, finally forgiving the broken English of our mothers. We eat pork and chive dumplings, and I know it's such a 90s fantasy of multiculturalism that I am rehashing. But still, in New York I feel I can tell you how my mother and I used to make dumplings together, like a scene out of the Joy Luck Club. The small kitchen, the small bowl of water between us, how we dipped index finger, thumb, sealed each dumpling like tucking in a secret goodnight. The meat of a memory, a feat of engineering, a dream of mother and son, interrupted by the father, my father, who made my mother get on a plane, a theory, years of nowhere across American nose, a degree that proved useless, proved he was the father. I tried to build a bridge to my parents, but only reached my mother, and it's a bridge she's about to jump off of. I run to her, she jumps, she's swimming, saying, "Finally I've learned, all this time, trying to get from one useless chunk of land to another, when I should have stayed in the water." And we're drinking tap water, in your bright Brooklyn kitchen. I don't know what to tell you. I thought I could tell this story, give it a way out of itself. Even here in my fabulous Tony-winning monologue of a New York, I'm struggling to get to the joy, the luck. I tell you my mother still boils the water, though she knows she doesn't have to anymore. Her special kettle boils in no time. It's a feat of engineering. She could boil my father in it, and he'd come out a better person, in beautiful shoes. She could boil the Atlantic, the Pacific, every idyllic American pond with its swans. She would. This next poem is from GESUNDHEIT, a collaborative chapbook that I put together with my friend, Sam Herschel Wine, my best friend. It was published last October by Porkbelly Press, with this amazing cover by Anya Liao. The chapbook explores queer friendship, biological family, as well as chosen family, and what even is love anyhow? Sam and I wrote 2 of the poems together. The rest of the chapbook alternates between his poems and mine. We both have poems called Friendship. This is mine, dedicated to who else? Sam. Friendship. is a mean curl of moon coming at you in rollerblades. Let our pelvises listen to friendship's bright crisscrossing of night and terrible futons too many miles apart. Let our pelvises be wrapped in a gleaming blanket made by celestial collaboration, the sun lending itself to the moon's face. Friendship is a face rollerblading and wearing short shorts and handing out hot dogs in the midst of spiky roaches, leaky rooms. Friendship waits till everyone has a hot dog and is ready before putting on their own rollerblades. Friendship's hot dogs are indeed the moon's hot dogs and don't taste all that great. But friendship doesn't expect you to take every bite to finish. Friendship wants you to have what it can make, what it is trying to make, with its small moon hands, its crescent hands crisscrossing the night, and our cities swollen with dream. Friendship travels at the speed of heat and one bite of mustard-dripping hot dog. Friendship travels at the speed of a favorite music video, never loading on Safari while we wait and wait. Friendship is the crashed browser, the honey of not going to bed at bedtime. We are busy, listening to friendship in the softest part of our pelvises. The last poem I'm reading for you is from my first chapbook, Set the Garden on Fire, which was published by Porkbelly Press several years ago now. This is the title poem, and lines from it are featured in The Poetry Path, a new wonderful project from Poets House. Here's the official description from the Poets House website. As part of the celebration of our 10th anniversary at 10 River Terrace, we're excited to announce the opening of the Poets House Poetry Path in Battery Park City, an immersive public art installation of poetry running from Rockefeller Park's north end to the marina at Brookfield Place. This installation includes fragments from poems reaching across time, space, and cultures, featuring 50 poets whose work considers the relationships between people, nature, and the urban landscape. I'm really honored to have lines from this poem included in this exciting project. Set the Garden on Fire, for Jeanette Lee. My friend's new neighbors in the suburbs are planting a neat row of roses between her house and theirs. Her neighbors smile, say the roses are part of a community garden project, that's all. But they whisper too, whisper plans for trees, a wall of them. They plant rumors that her house is hiding illegals when it's aunts and uncles visiting. They grow tall accusations fed by talk radio that her house was bought with drug money, not 17 years of walks sizzling, people serving, delivering, filing, people scrubbing, refilling, running, her family running the best restaurant in town. Like with your family, my friend says. Once we moved in, they stopped calling us hardworking immigrants. Friend, let's really move in. Let's plunge our hands into the soil, plant cilantro and strong tomatoes, watermelon and honey-hearted cantaloupe, good things, sweeter than any rose. Let's build the community garden that never was. Let's call the neighbors out, call for an orchard, not a wall. Trees with arms free, flaming into apple, peach, pear, every imaginable, edible fire. Come, friend, neighbor, you. Come set the garden on fire with all our hard-earned years, tender labor of being here, ceaseless and volcanic making of being here together. Big bouquets of thanks to BOA Editions, Blood Axe Books, Porkbelly Press, and Glass Poetry Press. For more about my writing and my projects, check out ChenChenWrites.com. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at ChenChenWrites. And thank you to Poets House, a resource, a space of contemplation and imagination, a house of dreaming, dreaming deeper and stranger. And shout out again to the Poetry Path. Do check it out when you can. Learn more about this and other fabulous projects at poetshouse.org. Thanks.
If you've enjoyed these programs, please consider giving a contribution to Poets House. For more than 30 years, they've kept the door wide open to everyone for the joy of poetry. Recently, they have temporarily had to shut the door and are reeling from the financial implications. Please give, even a small donation if you can.